Threema, is it worth it? Welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. And thank you for the 3 or 4 of you that are still watching this show on occasion. Thanks, kids. Nice to know that you're still holding up the old man. All right, so as I mentioned in the last video, I was going to talk about Threema. Threema is something that I saw on the Amazon show, The Terminal List, and that's something that the Chris Pratt character was using with a journalist to send secured messages back and forth. Honestly, I think I may have run across the name before, but I didn't really know what it was. Now, there are different kinds of secured messaging apps that are out there. For example, I think a lot of people already know about Signal and Telegram and things along that line. But Threema is definitely something different. Let's take a look at what that all entails. Now, this is the home page for Threema. And you can see scrolling down there, and I'm getting it towards the middle of the page, the different companies that are using this in one capacity or another. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But you can download this, but it is not a free app. It's not like Signal or Telegram. But there's different things about Threema that actually are kind of enticing. Let's get over to some of the reviews that I took a look at, and we'll come back to this page later. I'm not going to read all the yellow stuff. It's just kind of helped to trigger my aging brain as we go through here. Now, this is an anonymous messaging app from Switzerland, okay? And it's not as popular as Signal or Telegram and definitely not WhatsApp or any of those others. But it is small. And the basics is it offers text and voice. It allows for video calls, group and distribution lists, and the ability to share files, media, and locations. Everything is end-to-end encrypted, including the items you share, which is very, very important. You can also conduct polls with this. You can have private chats, and things can be protected by your fingerprint or a PIN. And the nice thing about this is you don't have to worry so much about man-in-the-middle attacks because you don't need to enter your phone number or an email address to get a Threema account. Threema is based out of Switzerland. They've been around since 2012. They didn't really found the company until 2014. Let's see. They use full end-to-end encryption, and the absolute minimum of unencrypted data is ever reaching their company servers. They own their own servers, and the metadata that is sent up to them is deleted after the message is sent. So there's not a continuous log of who's logging in and who's not. The data that is transferred and sent from one person to another is stored on the devices that are using Threema. They're not being stored in a cloud. I read somewhere that Signal uses AWS servers. Those are Amazon Web Servers, and I'll just leave it to your imagination what can happen after that. Data stored at AE256 encryption. That includes your media files. Threema has regular audits conducted to confirm the service is secure. They have transparency reports. Let's take a look at some of the stuff. According to Threema, the available data they can provide is restricted to the following items if the legal requirements are fully met. The hash of the phone number, if provided by the user. Hash of email address, again, if provided by the user. Push token, if you happen to use a push service. The public key. Date, without time of Threema ID creation. The date, without time of last login. This is really cool stuff. Threema will have even less data if you do not provide a phone number or email address while you're registering. And it goes on how to install, how to set up your private key. It does have a global search as opposed to a contact by contact search, so you don't have to sit there and wonder, who exactly did I send that message to? Really great stuff. It's got an integrated media gallery with image search. You can have expanded groups. That's also on Android now, which I understand was not there before, so it's caught up with iOS. You can also use Threema on the desktop when you run Threema Web on a computer, you also access the disk drives of your computer. So if you have files on your computer that you want to send encrypted to another Threema user, you can use this. But this is not an application. This links up with your Threema app on your phone to give you this little web browser thingamabob, and you can send your secure messages using that if you want to. I would suggest also making sure that if you're very, very conscientious and concerned about any of these type of maybe proprietary messages that you don't want to have leaked out to the world, you also get a VPN as well. There's different flavors of Threema. There's Threema Work, Threema Broadcast, Threema Gateway, Threema Education. They do have support, but it's mostly web. It's not free. At the time of this posting, it was $3.99 to download from the Google Play Store or the iPhone and iPad App Store. And the other versions of Threema each have their own price plans. So if you're looking for something more business-oriented, you might see a price difference in that regard. Threema is more secure than WhatsApp. Okay, even though WhatsApp is an end-to-end encrypted service, it is owned by Facebook, and Facebook is all about getting data. So your messages will probably store more metadata on Facebook than you'll ever see on Threema. Can somebody hack Threema? Of course. This is technology. These are not foolproof systems, but the chances are small that somebody can hack it because of the way that this particular business model has been put together. So on this review site, they really like it. In this review site, a couple of pieces of information I just wanted to throw in there. It is GDPR compliant. A lot of pros that are listed right here. The cons are that right now there's still a relatively small number of users, but then again, with the terminal list, you might see a lot more people picking this up. Hey, when you get showcased in a television show or a movie, gets gears going, people might decide that they're going to start checking into stuff. Does not have two-factor authorization. For me, I actually am appreciative of that because I don't trust 2FA all that well, and that's just my opinion. I know some people live on this stuff. I do not. You do not get a free trial with this as well. They made a transition to open source recently, so you can be assured that the code can be checked, and if there are problems, bugs, worms, whatever, they can be addressed pretty quickly. There are clients for Android, iOS, and major web browsers, and again, specialized versions for various case use. Whereas the data stored, user data is stored only on the relevant devices. The company servers are physically located in 2 Zurich, Switzerland data centers of an ISO 27001 certified co-location partner. They're protected by security systems that include biometric access control, video surveillance, emergency power systems, fire protection, and more. It sounds pretty good. They say it's also very safe to store your data, your Threema data, on your device. Third-party testing and audits of Threema, Cure 53, needs to underline that the overall impression of the code quality and general structure of the project can only be described as unusually solid. So that is a pretty cool point right there. They talk about the testing, installing, configuring on Androids, the web client again, support, how private and secure is Threema. Without strong encryption of your messages, a messaging app cannot protect your privacy. Threema has that angle covered through their use of the NaCl open source cryptographic library. Their third-party audits confirm that their implementations of this library is secure. And more, and more. Again, the special versions of Threema: Work, Broadcast, Gateway, Education, pricing. Now, can I use Threema without a SIM card? Yes, you can, because you're not using your phone number, or you don't have to get a Threema account. These people are also impressed with Threema. Is it right for you? Again, depends on your situation. Coming back over to their webpage at Threema, They're talking about the different ways that you can use it, and it does even show Linux. How cool is that? So you can use it on your smartphone, tablet, and on your desktop computer. And it goes into the work. And Threema is a statement, available since 2012. Currently showing on their website 10 million users. That, in some respects, sounds very large, but when you're talking about what's going on with WhatsApp and some of the others, that's pretty small. But that's also kind of cool because it's not so big that everybody's going to try to jump on it. And let's see, that's it for their webpage. So is Threema worth it? Depending on what you need, I would suggest that this might be something that you would want to take a little investigation in. I'll leave the links up for you on the video here on YouTube in the comments section. Let me know your experiences if you've used Threema, so that maybe we can do a part 2 to find out, customer actual thoughts on the product. And I think we'll leave this on our words of wisdom, and that is: don't drive drunk, don't drink and drive, don't go to Amazon, eBay, or use Microsoft Edge all buzzed up thinking you're going to buy the latest, greatest, and coolest stuff, because you're probably not. And in the meantime, bottoms up. Later, dudes.